Happening this morning, the investigation continues into a woman who was hit and killed by a rail runner train last night on the Santo Domingo Pueblo. Later today, we're hoping to learn more about her and exactly what happened there. News 13's David Romero is out in Bernalillo County right now. So, David, what do we know about this crash right now?
Well, Matt, so far we know that the whole thing happened pretty far north of where I'm at, and that was at or rather near the Kiwa station, which is near the Santo Domingo Pueblo. State police say the woman was walking along the railroad tracks when a southbound train hit her just after 6 p.m. last night. Several southbound trains were delayed for the investigation. There's still no word on who she was or why she did not move out of the way. Several passengers had to be bused from that station after the train finally got to its stop. This morning, we want to remind you there are no delays for the rail runner. Matt, back to you.
All right, thank you for the update, David. We're expecting to learn more about what happened later today. We'll pass it along to you here on KRQE and on our website at krqe.com. Elizabeth.
A grand jury indicts two men after being accused of causing the overdose of a man which killed him. Investigators say last February, Archie Manzanares and Michael Brown dumped the body of Christopher Hernandez near the Manzano Expressway in Valencia County. Detectives say the two men held the victim down and injected him with a deadly dose of heroin after an argument. Manzanares is charged with involuntary manslaughter. Brown faces a number of charges, including stealing a car because he allegedly took Hernandez's van and sold it. We are learning the Albuquerque cop who sent a teenager a text message after pulling her over will not be fired. Police Chief Ray Schultz decided to demote Frank Tillman and suspended him for 3 weeks instead. Internal Affairs investigated Tillman after finding out that he had exchanged numbers with a 17-year-old girl he had pulled over during a traffic stop. Records show Officer Tillman complimented the teen about the way she looked via text and also said that he, quote, wanted to kiss her. Tillman was immediately put on desk duty. The police chief said it was his clean record that contributed to keeping Tillman on the job.
Well, what began as a car crash near Berlin is now a case of a missing person. This all started Sunday night when Jessica Martinez, as her boyfriend, Brandon Young here, was drinking and upset, then took off from their motel near Los Lunas. A little later, investigators think that Young got into a bad crash here off the highway, smacking into a power pole, then going through this barbed wire fence. The investigators found a few footprints leading back to the highway, but other than that, right now they have no clue what happened to Mr. Young.
We don't know where he's at, if he's hurt, or if he's laying in a ditch somewhere. We don't know anything. We just want him found.
We do know that Brandon Young is from Maine. He's been in New Mexico for just about 10 months now. He's been working on wind turbines. The second trial of a driver accused of killing a man on a bicycle on Paseo del Norte 2 years ago is set to continue today. Miranda Pacheco faces vehicular homicide charges after she lost control of her car, veered off the road, went through a fence, and hit and killed David Anderson. Her attorneys say the whole thing was just an accident, not a crime. But prosecutors say Pacheco was speeding and passing other cars at the time. Ms. Pacheco's first trial ended in a hung jury.
The Metro Detention Center guard accused in a beating case is scheduled to be in court today. Jail guard Demetrio Gonzalez, along with two other guards, are accused of beating Christopher Shields as he was being booked for aggravated DWI last year. The FBI says surveillance video shows jail guard Gonzalez attacking the victim. Now, officials say fellow guards Kevin Casaus and Matthew Pendley then took Shields into the shower room where there were no cameras. Gonzalez is charged with violation of civil rights. A man accused of robbing a fast food joint in Los Lunas admits he did it. Bakay Robinson pleaded guilty yesterday to 7 of the 14 counts for robbing a Del Taco in Los Lunas last year. Now, authorities say his girlfriend, Ariel Gallegos, who was also an employee there, was in on the scheme as well. Now, because Robinson is a repeat offender, he should be sentenced to more than 2 decades in prison. The case against his girlfriend is pending.
This morning, we've learned another horse trainer here in New Mexico is now suspended after his horses tested positive for an exotic and potent painkiller. Jeffrey Heath Reed is now suspended for 21 years and has to pay a $23,000 fine. The Racing Commission says 5 of Reed's horses at all 1 races tested positive for the drug Dimorphin and 2 tested positive for a steroid. Now, if you remember, a Larry Barker investigation showed us that Dimorphin is an illegal drug that is used on horses that are hurt to temporarily take away their pain. A strike could be in the works for CenturyLink workers here in New Mexico and in 12 other states if they and company cannot reach a new contract by Sunday night. The company wants to increase their health care premiums by about 15%, but as you can imagine, workers don't want that to happen. About 13,000 workers were in the union and 88% of them voted for the strike.
More food service and retail jobs are coming to Albuquerque. A Kansas fast food chain called Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers is building a 1950s style diner near Paseo del Norte and I-25. It should be open by mid-December and hire about 75 people. The franchise owner plans to open at least 7 other Freddy's around here over the next 5 years. And Kirkland's, the specialty home decor store, is reopening this weekend at Coronado Center in Albuquerque. The company had closed its store there a few years ago, but recently decided to come back. The store will have about 15 to 18 new employees.